Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come in, come in, come in. This is Tamika's Den. I'm Tamika. Get on in here, y'all. Get on in here. Kick off your shoes and relax your feet. You are now in the den. So, guys, this is my review recap. Tyler Perry Sistas, New Beginnings, Season 7, Episode 1. New Beginnings, all right, y'all. Okay, they said, I don't think you're ready for this, baby. I don't think any of us was ready for this, okay? Y'all asked for new writers. Y'all got new writers. We got a 3-month time jump. It was all a dream, okay? Danny ain't get snatched by no damn body. Meanwhile, Calvin done left with a freaking white girl, okay? And Sabrina was giving me fake, I'm upset, I'm worried, I'm mad, giving me all the Danny teas. I said, why do you care, Sabrina? You got a whole new man walking up in here. Speaking of new things, honey, we got a new damn Jordan. I said, who the hell is this, okay? I like the old Jordan better, and this dinner was awkward as hell because apparently Penelope and Gary is up in here, and Andy over here cooking in the damn kitchen, y'all. I said, child, what? What the hell is going on? A hot damn mess, all right? And we still got Zach and Fatima over here, of course, trying to figure out what's going on with Michael. Michael's with a whole damn foster family because, yeah, Zach want to talk about, I can't believe she called the cops on us. Why can't you, Zach? Like I said, y'all dumb behind should have took a freaking picture and called the cops yourselves, and it wouldn't be like this. He wouldn't be with a foster family. He would be with y'all, but we going to get into that later, okay? Maurice over here still not working, and he gives, Sabrina the news about damn Calvin, child. And, she's over here working her new job, apparently still at the same damn branch. And we got Tony trying to convince Danny that she should be in therapy. And of course, we got the same old cliche where it's like, why would I want to do damn therapy, right? And we got Gary talking about he need to drain the damn dragon, but he doing more than draining it, and damn Penelope walking on him, child. You cannot make this up, honey. We gonna get all into it. Take it from the top, break it on down. You know how we do. So yeah, y'all, we start out this freaking episode to find out that Danny been over here having nightmares for the last 3 months. Tony is trying to convince her that she needs to get her behind into therapy and lets her know that he does therapy too. She like, well, why the hell I don't know this? Maybe because y'all haven't talked about it. Maybe because you probably haven't had much conversation with Tony in these 3 months. I'm just taking a wild guess, but you probably just been mostly worried about getting sex from him. I don't know. But he seems like he may be the person for Danny after all. He's telling her obviously these dreams might have some other meanings. It might be something that's in your subconscious that's bothering you, and many people go, to see therapists for many different things. That doesn't mean that you are crazy, right? And so she's like, oh, it's no big deal. She was like, it just seems so real. It was a dream that I had. I could smell him and feel him on me and all of that. And she was like, let's just lay back down and try to tell him that it's okay and it's fine. But like I said, he said, nah, this ain't just like a one-time thing. You've been having these dreams over and over and over, so something big is going on here. And she brings up an uncle of hers who was in the military that came back messed up, and how he was seeing a therapist, and he was like, okay, well, there's other types of people that go and seek therapy besides crazy uncles, and then he's like, nah, I'm just joking, but he's like, seriously, people go, for anxiety, PTSD, depression, many different things. And she was like, oh, since when have you became the expert on it? And he basically is like, because I've been in therapy myself. Then we want to know, well, have you been talking to your therapist about me? Yeah, sometimes I may mention you, and he say he started it from when he got, his divorce from his wife. And so, child, be quiet, girl. I'm talking over here. So she always want to come talking when I'm talking. We can't both talk, mama. We can't both talk. I got to talk when I'm talking. Here, say hi to the people. Hello, people. That's my little spoil you baby, okay? So he basically let her know, like, yeah, I bring you up sometimes to the therapist. So she wanted to know, what does he tell the therapist? Oh, I'm not going to tell you all of that. That's private. And she's like, no, if it's about me, then I think you should know. Then, of course, we going to get the jokes that, well, you probably psychotic or whatever. He's like, millions of people, go to therapists. And she's like, yeah, that's true. Millions of people do go to therapists, just like millions put sugar on their grits. But you know what I mean? That's not the thing that we should be doing. So he like, shoot, I like sugar and salt. Listen, I ain't going to get into the grits debate because I stopped eating grits years ago. So whatever y'all want to put on it, knock yourselves out. But she was like, yeah, that really mean you crazy. You know, I'm probably going to be chopped up in the daggone fridge somewhere. I know how I'm going to end up going out of here and all that stuff. I can't say that I'm shocked that this is, you know, Danny's take on it. I am glad that they're spreading awareness as far as, you know, therapy and things of that nature goes. And there's a lot of people that feel the way that Danny does. So whether he could get through to her or not, you know, time will tell, I guess, but I agree with him. Danny definitely could use some therapy. Meanwhile, moving over to Andy, she's chefing it up in the damn kitchen. I said, I ain't never seen Andy touching no pot, okay? And may I say, Miss Andy had the new do and had that black dress on. Go, girl, all right? Now, I don't know what the hell you was thinking about with having this damn dinner, but you was looking good while you was doing it. And so, you know, she in here chefing it up or whatever the case may be, you know, just a cooking away or whatever, right? And, you know, Jordan, okay, this new Jordan child, y'all could have found somebody at least that looked a little bit like the other one. Bring back Robin if you can, but I know they ain't doing that. So nonetheless, this is who we got. And, you know, she was like, you know, we keep talking about being able to have friends and we need to make all of this come true. And she talking about some, baby, I don't want to burn the food, because he was over here kissing on her. And he was like, well, I would say we could just skip dinner and she, you know, go straight to dessert. And she like, yeah, you know, we can't do that either, right? But we seem like we in this lovey-dovey, you know, world, and she telling him to stop if she gotta cook or whatever the case may be, and she just wants everything to be perfect and want this all to go well. And so I'm like, Andy, girl, what we want to go well, what y'all got, you know, going on? And so, you know, he telling her that he's a little nervous about Penelope. He does have to admit this or whatever, right? And she said, well, I guess, you know, will it be arriving soon? But then it's like, oh shoot, they arrived sooner than I thought, and we got Penelope and Gary walking in. So I said, wait, is this a dream too? Like, Penelope, girl, you don't went back to Gary. I mean, he did say you was weak, sis. I thought you was a little stronger than that. Or in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, is this some type of plan that maybe, you know, Andy and Penelope got in the works to make him think that everything is okay, girl? I don't know. Okay, we're going to see which direction they're going to take this in. Then we get on over to Karen's new salon, child, only to find out, you know, child, Brian gone. We over here talking about whatever happened to that guy. Did he ever get back to you? And we seeing that Pam is a damn influencer. Child, she on the phone doing videos and talking about, you know, Karen's grand opening and stuff like that, trying to make sure people know about it and telling them to be locked in. And Karen over here looking at her like she got, you know, 3 heads, and she like, what did I do? And she was like, you're supposed to be helping with me with the salon instead of you playing on the internet. She's like, girl, I'm helping you, all right? I'm setting up things, I'm recording so that people could, you know about your comeback, and we could get up these likes and get a lot of exposure and get people in here. How the hell you think people gonna know about your brand and what you got going? And she was like, well, if you don't hurry up and help me, then, you know, we ain't gonna have no business to open. We still got a lot of work to do in here. So she was like, girl, I got it. Just chill and relax. It's not that serious. You stressing little Pamisha or Pamonte? I said, no, she didn't. So she was like, how you think I'm supposed to relax when, you know, we open in a few days and the new contract they ain't finished? And she was like, well, I hope he don't go shoot like the last one. What was his name? Bruce Brighton or something? She said, girl, Brian. His name is Brian. She said, only thing she know is they say he up and left with his damn wife because apparently they started having marital problems. I said, huh? And he wanted to take off and focus more on family, something like that. I don't know. And so Pam is like, well, I hope it wasn't because of you that we was having these marital problems. She said, girl, it wasn't me. Shoot, I ain't have nothing to damn do with that, because she talking about the problem seemed like they started around the time that he met you. So she's like, I ain't never messed with that man or nobody else. I'm not thinking about him. He was only helping me with the salon. She said, well, if you say so, you know. And Karen was like, I do. She said, you know, she ain't interested in no man, especially not a married man. I said, I know that's right, Karen. Let's keep it like that. I'm glad Brian gone, because the vibes was just too damn creepy for me. So nonetheless, you know, we had Zach on the phone trying to check on Michael and saying, tell him his father love him. Fatima saying, you know, say she love him too or whatever. And when he hang up the phone with them, of course, he's basically like, you know, I can't believe this. You know, yeah, he's okay, but who the hell, you know, wants their child to be over there in foster care? He shouldn't be in foster care. He should be here with us or whatever. Like, I'm not going to be, you know, okay with him being there. And she like, I get that, but he's adapting. That's good. You know, at least we know that he's out of there. where he was, and he was like, well, I can't believe she called the cops on us. And like I said, I'm like, why you can't believe it, Zach? You led her and gave her the easy access to be able to do that. I'm sorry. And I would have thought that Fatima being who she is, she would have freaking been like, nah, Zach, let's take pictures, let's call the cops. But nonetheless, that's not the way that it went. And we are here. So now we are just trying to do what we could do to get him back. So of course his mind is on that, and he really just in that space where he can't think of nothing, and he's not going to be able to relax until he knows that he's back with them. And she's like, I get it, but there's really nothing else we could do. You've done everything, that you could possibly do or whatever, right? And he was saying, how long is it going to take them to prove that she's an unfit mother and prove that they have a good home? And she said, well, you got to let the family court do what they doing, right? And so he was saying that he hopes when she becomes a lawyer that she can make changes, to situations like this. And she said, she know it's been hard on him, but he got to try to relax, relate, release. The arbitration is in a few days or whatever, right? And so she just, of course, was trying to console him and keep him calm, give him a little beer to drink and try his best to put himself in another space. And then she was like, at the end of the day, they rescued him regardless of what. And, once they see why they took him out of there and the conditions that he was in, they're going to understand that they really came there and helped, right? And so he like, yeah, you right about that. Now, child, we got damn Sabrina over here at the office looking at these pictures or whatever. She back to work. Apparently her and Maurice ain't talking a minute either. He like, girl, you don't be calling nobody since you started working that damn job again, okay? Lucky you to be working, because I'm still sitting my behind at home doing nothing. And so she's over here like, yeah, well, why you haven't been going out hanging around with Calvin? And he like, girl, I ain't tell you Calvin done went skip to Malou, you know what I'm saying, with this white chick. So she like, what, excuse me, how the hell he gonna just leave without telling me bye? He was like, I know, right? That's what I said. So he's like, well, don't get a big head or nothing like that, right? Don't think too crazy. But he was saying how hard it was gonna be for him to leave and didn't want to have to come and tell you bye face to face. And she's like, he really said that? And he's like, yeah, have I ever lied to you? And it's like, yeah, sometime you do or whatever, right? But he was like, anyway, speaking of people in relationships or whatever, because Maurice, he gotta be all extra. Well, you was funny style when it came to him anyway, and you ain't like his femininity. And she's like, oh, well, the white chick, takes all of that. And he said, yeah, of course she do. She love every minute of it. And he said, I'm sure he's having a ball. They ain't gonna be like, or two. So he like, speaking of love lives, you got anybody? And of course, knock, 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 here come Rich showing up just in the nick of time, just as the words is being let out with some flowers. And she talking about, I'm gonna talk to you later, and asking him what he doing just popping up there. And he like, is that how you greet your man? Okay. And I ain't know I had to be making no announcements when I want to come see my beautiful woman. And she all blushing. And he like, you not used to a man telling you gorgeous and all of that. And so, he said, I just want to check up on you, and the job should be happy to have you, and they should be rolling out the red carpet for you and everything. And she basically says that she actually didn't end up going to the new branch. She's still at the old branch because she told them she wanted to stay there. They actually okayed it. So he was like, yeah, you deserve for them to do that. Now, back at Andy's house, we got Gary coming in still with the same funky, stink-ass attitude. He's saying smart things from the minute he walk in the door. He looking them up and down and grinning them. I just can't. I was like, why couldn't he have been one of the people to freaking leave, y'all? I'm sorry. I'm scared sick of him. And Penelope telling him to be nice and watch himself or whatever just was really awkward, and really like you could tell everybody's out of place. Nobody really wanted to be here, and it's coming off very forced. And, Andy trying to offer them food, offer them drinks. She's telling Penelope, do you want this food? And she like, nah, I think I want whatever's over there. And Andy says something about it being like pork, wrapped bacon, and tenderloins or whatever. And she was like, yeah, I think I want to smack some of that. So Gary saying how he's trying not to drink or whatever, that he'll take some sparkling water, and he's being funny towards, Jordan, like, oh, you wouldn't want your sister or your niece or nephew to get hurt. I got to drop off precious cargo. And so, it was just like we going back and forth and being funny with each other or whatever, but trying to make it seem like we ain't saying nothing with no type of attitude or nothing, right? And he's saying how he's so rich and he can get everything. And he's like, your brother knows I'm joking. I'm playing right. And Jordan is just basically looking at him like, yeah, right, whatever. So, he basically was like, let's go ahead and, sit down, right? So he talking about some all the time. I knew Andy, she wasn't cooking. And Andy was like, well, now I have somebody to make me feel good and somebody that brings out the best of me in more ways than one that make me want to cook for him. I said, I know that's right, Andy. Talk your shit, okay? Even though I don't like this Jordan, I'm here to see it. And so, freaking Penelope was over here smiling at them like, oh, y'all look so happy or whatever. And they both said at the same time, we are. And here go Gary looking on fucking mush mouth. Excuse my language, y'all. I'm sorry. So anyway, here go Gary. We couldn't be more in love, right, baby? And then they gonna start kissing like he freaking competing over here or whatever, right? And so Andy's like, that's great. And she was like, judging on your glow, you know what I'm saying? I guess the pregnancy is going well. And she like, yeah, it is. So, they say they resources and everything is great. And, she's like, that's awesome. I'm glad we're so happy for you guys, right? And so I said, but wasn't Penelope supposed to have the baby by now? Because did she say she was 7 months when we last seen her, or was it 6th child? I don't know. But if it's supposed to be 3 months, then I guess she ready to blow any damn day now, should be. But anyway. So nonetheless, she kept kind of telling Gary not to be rude. And, he over here, stay out of it, Penelope. I just wanted him to get backslapped right then and there. So he said, well, we know y'all didn't just invite us to dinner for the hell of it or to talk about the joys of the pregnancy. Get down to business. What do y'all really have us here? So Andy was like, yeah, you right. I do have interior motives or whatever. At the end of the day, Jordan was tired of being separated from his sister and wanted to be able to speak to his sister again. And, I just wanted to be able to try to make them come together. So apparently they, I guess, really haven't been speaking like that ever since her still being with, Jordan, which I guess, would make perfect sense, because I was saying that this relationship would be hell of a awkward anyway for him to go ahead and deal with her, when she literally is the ex of somebody that he finds out was cheating on his sister with her, right? And so, we then had, of course, Tony just still trying to convince Danny, with the whole psychiatrist thing. And she just really was like giving him a lot of pushback and turning into something else. And even he was saying like, I know this is your defense mechanism, right? And so then we had Sabrina and her man getting hot and heavy in the office. And, he over here basically talking about how, because she was like, oh, I don't want to do it in the office. I don't want to get fired when I'm just starting the damn job. And he was like, all right, let's go in the back in the parking lot. And she like, you sure? You serious about that? And he's like, yeah, why? My car's parked back there. So she was like, you know what? Yeah, why not? Why should white girls and guys that want to wear panties have all the fun? And he like, where the hell that came from? And she was like, oh no, just thinking out loud, don't mind me. So we see Tony go in the bathroom or whatever, but I thought he was about to maybe call up another chick or his kids, but we found out later who he called, right? Because it was definitely giving sneaky. And back over at Andy's, we had them sitting down on the couch talking, and, Andy was just saying to Gary that she don't hold nothing against him. She really had to think about it now. She's in a good place, and, her and Jordan is so happy together. And she was like, she did have an agenda because she wanted them to have dinner together and be able to just let everything go and let all the tensions that was remaining, between them be gone and be lessened or whatever. And so he says, well, why would there be tension, Andy? And, freaking Gary raggedy behind. And so he was like, well, the only tension it was that you caused between me and my unborn child. Like, the narcissism in this freaking dude just irks my nerves. And she was like, well, I wanted to inform Penelope of everything that was going on, and it was her choice whether she stayed or not. And he said, well, obviously she chose me. Like, good for you, Gary, okay? Ugh. So nonetheless, her phone starts ringing at that point because Fatima did tell, Zach, like, you want to calm yourself or whatever, then go ahead and call Andy. She is your lawyer, and speak to her and ask her questions about the case so she could kind of settle your nerves and make you feel better, because he was saying he knows some other things that could settle his nerves, okay? But we going to go ahead and call her first, and then we going to get into those things. And so they call Andy. She step away for a minute, excuse herself. She go in the bathroom, and Fatima puts it on speaker so that way, she could hear both of them talking. And he was like, I just can't shake the feeling or whatever that he should be doing a little more to get Michael back. And she just basically was like what? Is nothing else that you really, could do? He said, well, maybe he could hire a private investigator to trick her into doing something shady. That shouldn't be too hard. And then they could catch her in the act. And Fatima's even looking like, what the hell? So she's like, no, Zach, that's the last thing you want to do is do something like that or whatever, right? They can say that you harassing her. And he's like, harassing her? Me? And she's like, yes, don't do anything. Just let it, go its course. They're going to find out all the information that they need to find out. Like, I know that, you know that, and they're going to know that soon. Just please try your best to relax. I know that it's hard or whatever, right? And let the process go as planned. And so she's like, okay. And he said, if I do that, I'll get my son soon. And she was like, I can't make any promises, but you do have a very strong case. So he's like, okay, thank you. Fatima says thank you, then telling him to say thank you. And he's like, thank you for talking me down. I said, child, this is a whole damn mess, right? So they hang up the phone and, Andy goes shimmying out, back out there with her new hair and new dress on or whatever, walking out to them. And, Gabby is just looking so irked to see her happy, to see her and Jordan happy, like it's eating him alive. Okay, for somebody that supposedly didn't care about nobody and they didn't mean nothing and all of that stuff. You sure enough looking real damn bothered, damn Gary, okay? And not looking like you give a damn about Penelope for her to be the one that you supposedly like so much. I'm just saying, okay? Definitely did, from the body language, observe that. I don't know nobody that act that way that is supposed to like one person so much and not care about the other. But nonetheless, moving on, I digress. She says she ain't letting nothing hold them back, continued the conversation, apologized for having to step out, and was like, we not holding on to nothing. We don't have no grudges. We don't have no hate, not even against you. And Jordan basically agreed with her, like, yeah, Andy is right. We not going to be holding anything on. We need to, new beginnings, right? We need to just keep looking forward. And he's like, you never know. You could be looking at the first lady right here. So then his sister Penelope jumped in like, hold on, bro. You pump your brakes. You jumping way ahead here. Like, you just started talking about city council. Now you got yourself in the damn, mayor's house or whatever. And he said, hey, we got to aim high. So here go Gary. Yeah, you know what? Jordan is right. I actually believe in him and I could go ahead and give a donation. And they telling him, no, slow down. You ain't got to give no donations. That's okay. But typical damn Gary, he go ahead into his phone and start pressing the damn buttons. And 2 seconds later, he telling Jordan to check his account. And when Jordan looked, it's $100,000 in there. I said, baby, I wouldn't trust it. I wouldn't take nothing from him. To be honest, damn Andy, I still feel like you should have sold that freaking condo, car, and all of that. But girl, okay. So, meanwhile, at first, Andy is like saying no, and Penelope's all, oh, baby, that's so generous of you. And she was like, nah, you should talk your daggone, man into accepting this or whatever, right? This would be a good way to prove that everything is quote unquote okay with you guys and y'all moving forward and all of that. Jordan over here talking about, damn, I'm saying, he just donated $100,000 to my campaign. And he talking about, hey, that's nothing, right? And she talking about it's so generous and they over here giving kisses. So, nonetheless, that's when we basically seen Tony go in the bathroom. They didn't know what he was doing. And we got Pam saying, how much longer we going to be here cleaning? Because I was supposed to be going out tonight, okay? Now, it was funny, too, because, of course, she keeps telling Karen, like, give me that damn box. You can't be carrying heavy boxes. And she taking the boxes and throwing them left and damn right on the floor or whatever. And Karen saying how no, she's not going to call Aaron. She's not going to be calling for nobody for help, right? And she's also not going to call Zach because she don't want to deal with Fatima being jealous, right? That's what she says at one point. Then another point, she's basically like, oh, no, I don't want Zach in here unless he come in with some type of help or, giving some type of money. And I don't want Fatima here unless she getting them damn edges laid. And I'm like saying, Karen, okay, I'm glad to see you moved on from Zach. I'm glad to see you putting into yourself, into the salon, into the baby. That's what we all wanted. But what makes you think that Fatima would be jealous of you asking for help? I'm assuming they don't know everything that's going on with Michael, because it would have made more sense for her to be like, nah, I'm not going to bother him right now because he's dealing with the whole situation with Michael and trying to get him back, than sitting there taking whatever little, shots to be like, oh, well, they not coming with no type of help, and Fatima's gonna be getting jealous. She wasn't getting jealous this whole time, so I don't see why she would start getting jealous now. But okay, that's the way the writers wrote it, so we gotta go with it. So child, nonetheless, she just kept saying nah, she wasn't gonna call none of them for help. So it seems like the only help she really have is them Pam, and like regardless of what anybody want to say about Pam, Pam is a real one. She there holding her down. She trying to tell her like, girl, we gonna be all right. Don't even worry about it. I'm gonna be bringing mad people in here. I'm gonna get you a whole bunch of business because, Karen was like, listen, I just want to be able to open on time and want to be able to pay my damn bills. And Pam said, nah, you think it's too small, honey. We want to be even bigger than that. Okay. I'm trying to get the bag for you and me. I said, I know that's right. Pam, and she told her, you ain't dead, girl, you pregnant, like, go out, you can still go out. She said, why don't you come on out with me? And Karen was telling her no, she was gonna go ahead and cuddle her, at home with her baby. She said, okay, girl, that's your choice, do you? And she was like, yeah, I am. So now, in the meantime, when Sabrina and Rich was going to go to the parking lot to get it in, it was actually Tony that called her. So, of course, he was telling her don't answer her phone, but she went ahead and answered it anyway and was like, I'm on my way. And all of a sudden, when Danny is walking out and saying, Tony, how long you going to be in here? Do you got diarrhea or something? He ends up coming out the bathroom and telling her, he going to make a quick run. He'll be out later. And she's like, but I thought you were supposed to finish, doing some things for me. And he's like, yeah, I'll finish it later. And when he opened the door, Sabrina standing there and she like, girl, what the hell you doing here? Why are you here? And she said, well, I told Tony to be gone by the time I get here. She's like, why's that? She's like, oh, because he called me and said something about it being some damn nightmares in therapy. And she was like, oh, you who he was calling, right? Listen, we ate some food that was old, so I thought it just busted up his stomach. And she like, girl, of course, like, I don't need to talk about that or whatever, because at first she's like, oh, girl, what we talking about, So, of course, here it goes, Sabrina to the rescue, where you leaving your date to run over here, well, I guess he called her and said, your friend needs you, and she came. So, that's good that she there for Danny in that way, right? So now, at another point, Pam was still basically, on the phone and trying to promote, and she over here coming touching, Karen's shoulder, and that's when she was telling her that we gonna be, doing the do, girl, we about to blow up, don't even worry about it. And she touched Karen's shoulder, and Karen over here looking at it like, oh, you touching me. But I'm like, at the end of the day, Pam is really the one that has your back, girl. I don't see none of the other girls there. I don't see no other man there. So, I mean, it is what it is. You got to give credit where credit is due, that she is the one that's there. So, in the meantime, Gary has said he was going in the damn bathroom, child, to drain the dragon. And we still saying here, we hearing childhood stories about how, Jordan had climbed the damn tree and fell and broke his arm and this and that, right? Fatima had told Zach if he didn't hurry his behind up and get up, she was going to start without him. Like, okay, we done called Andy or whatever. Are you feeling better? I'm going to meet you upstairs. Don't make me wait too long, because if you do, baby, I'll be done. And he like, no, don't start without me, and running up the stairs after him. So, we getting back to Andy place, and we seeing, like I said, they telling some kid's story, and Andy like, oh yeah, I want to hear all these stories. Do you have hundreds? And she like, yeah, I sure do. And we seeing Gary in the bathroom all mad, talking about, yeah, this phony B, who the hell she thinks she is. She got the nerve to be up in here, because when he had said he was going to the bathroom, she was going to point and tell him where it was, and he was like, I know where it's at. Don't forget that I bought this place. I said, yeah, that's another reminder to you, Andy, that you should have sold that damn place. You shouldn't have been there no more, because ain't no way in the world you would be holding that over my head every day a minute. But he got head to the bathroom, so we seeing him in there all mad and pouting and going off about how dare she and who do she think she is and this and that, and looking all through her drawers and stuff and going, touching all her clothes and everything, and then gonna take out her panties and be sniffing on them. I'm like, ugh, and I can't say I'm surprised, because we have to remember he was stalking her and watching her from the damn office before, but I'm just like, ugh, like, but this is somebody you don't like. I'm confused. It's so freaking weird and creepy. And so she like, Gary taking a little long in there, and Jordan was like, maybe the sparkling water done jacked up his daggone stomach or whatever the case may be. And she's like, come on now. And so, then she had said, like, he was sick the other day, and he was like, yeah, well, he is full of shit. Like, Jordan just kept on having little jokes about him. So she like, I think I'm going to go in there and see what's going on with him. And then they like, okay. And they asking her, do she need help and everything like that. And so she like, nah, I got it. Child, why when she walked in the bathroom, yeah, we freaking, when he said draining the damn dragon, but ain't in the damn toilet with no pee, baby. He over here jerking off to her freaking panties. And Penelope is like, Gary, what the hell are you doing? Child, this season look like it's going to be a mess. I don't know what the hell to expect. I ain't even going to lie to y'all. I was excited for us to get new writers, but I damn sure was like, wait, is this whole freaking episode a dream at this point? I didn't know what the hell was going on, but I'm going to try to give them a chance. I like the fact that Andy has moved on. She do have a new look going with her. I like the fact that Danny is, even though I didn't like for how her and Tony got together, I feel like he may be a match for her, and I feel like I like the fact of him trying to talk her into the therapy. I would actually like to see Danny get therapy and have some type of growth. I actually like Sabrina with Rich. I don't know why we had to make her seem like she cared about Calvin, because obviously she didn't if she was already moved on into a relationship with Rich. So what are you feeling any kind of way, whether it was a Becky or anybody else for? I'm just saying. And I want to see how they're going to bring it all together, and I want to see how long it's going to be before, Zach is able to get, Michael, and of course we know that we still going to have Hayden in the mix, so just how is this whole, dynamic going to go? We shall see, y'all, but put it in the comments, tell me what y'all thought about this episode, what you liked, what you didn't like, all that good stuff. Give me a wave, let me know you came by. Put some flames up in the sky, y'all. Like, comment, share, subscribe if you are so inclined. Till next time, y'all. Toodaloo.